I'm pleased to invite and thank our TLPA brothers and sisters. We've had a great relationship with TLPA over the past several years, but I don't think we've ever had a better relationship than when Robert McBride has become president of the organization. We think he's doing a tremendous job, and we've never had such a great relationship. We want that to continue forever. So thank you, Robert, for all your leadership. We're going to hear about the Taxis on Patrol program, but also before we hear about that and Robert's involvement in that on behalf of the TLPA, I'm going to turn it over to Al Lagasse, who's been the executive director of the TLPA for as long as Millar has of the APTA. He's probably up there, although he doesn't look it as well. You look good, Al. Good. All these conferences, get a tan. But Al, really, when he and the TLPA and all the past presidents and the future presidents supported doing something which goes above and beyond what the regulators actually require in terms of training, we thought it was a first, and we thought it was a fantastic idea. And they're going to talk about the program that they're about to unveil that they spend a long time working on. Al is going to take it from here. And he's going to introduce Gene, and then Robert's going to talk about the TOPS program. But I encourage you all to ask questions, because I think there's a lot of opportunity for regulators to either mandate this type of program or figure out a way that it can be incorporated in some type of incentive-based system. And those are considering changes in their regulations or their systems for driver training. I've seen some of this product that they're going to unveil, and it's really a good one. So without further ado, Al Lagasse, TLPA.
Good afternoon. So first we want to thank Matt, of course, the Education Committee, and Karen for putting the conference together and giving us an opportunity to make a presentation today. We very much appreciate the opportunity to share what's going on with TLPA and let you know what we're up to. We have 3 projects we're unveiling in the next 30 days, and we're just going to give you a brief overview of those today. But first, TLPA, if you don't know what that is, Taxi Cab Limousine and Paratransit Association. We're the association that represents private, for-profit transportation operators. Basically anything smaller than a bus, we would represent worldwide, but with our strongest concentration of membership being in North America. We were formed in 1917, so we're not quite as old as APTA, but we've been around a long time. We have just over 1,000 member companies, and our members operate just over 100,000 passenger vehicles. So, Bill had mentioned today that APTA is up to 10 billion passengers a year they're transporting through public transportation vehicles. The private ground transportation industry, and Bill was referring to the United States, the private transportation industry in the United States is 2 billion passengers a year. So we're a very significant portion of public transportation. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about our Pink Ride initiative. Then our president, Robert McBride, is going to talk about our new Transportation on Patrol program. And then Gene's going to wrap up the session with a more in-depth review of a new driver education program we're about to unveil, or he will unveil today, actually. So, Pink Ride, TLPA, the TLPA Pink Ride to benefit the American Cancer Society. We're launching a program next month, October. It's a 1-month program. We encourage our members to sign up to raise funds and awareness to fight against breast cancer. 1 in 8 women will deal with breast cancer at one time in their lives. Everyone's affected by it, and it's a way of our industry reaching out and giving back through a charitable purpose to build goodwill. We did it last year for the first time. We raised just over $100,000 in our first year and got a lot of great press. This year, we've restructured the program a little bit. First of all, you have to be a TLPA member. It is a TLPA program. Secondly, the program is purely voluntary. An operator can choose to participate or not. It's their choice. If the company chooses to participate, they must contribute at least $100 per week per the time the vehicle is labeled as part of the Pink Ride program. So your minimum commitment is 4 weeks, so it's $400 per vehicle for the time period. The company gets to decide how many vehicles. Obviously, the minimum would be 1, but you could have up to the entire fleet in the program. The company gets to select how, and I've received several questions here, how do you designate a vehicle pink? We did the program for the first time last year, and we had everything from the entire vehicle being painted pink or wrapped pink to just the taxi top sign saying this is a Pink Ride vehicle, to ribbons, on the antenna, although there are fewer and fewer antennas on cars anymore, so it's hard to put ribbons on those any longer. And we created a decal, a TLPA branded decal to put on the back window of the passenger side of the car, pointed out exterior. So the member chooses which version of the pink they want to provide. But we did learn the more pink the vehicle, the more, if you wrap the whole vehicle or paint the whole vehicle pink, you get a lot more press than if you put a decal on the vehicle. This year, we're expanding the program. Last year, the drivers did not solicit and were not allowed to solicit for contributions. We're not allowed to accept, and that's still the plan this year. But the difference this year is we're adding, there'll be a decal inside the vehicle with a text to give where you dial a 4-digit number, and that would automatically make a contribution from the person dialing the phone to the American Cancer Society, a $10 contribution. So last year there really wasn't a way for our passengers to participate in the program. This year there is a way, and we have an alternative. On the American Cancer Society website, there'll be a TLPA Pink Ride donation page, and if a person wanted to make a contribution via credit card, they could. And the final thing, we've created an implementation manual. It's very simple, easy to do steps. It's about 15 pages long, sample press releases. And the very first item in the manual is go to your local regulator and get approval for any exterior markings you're going to put on the vehicle. I mean, obviously we understand that we need your approval to implement this program. So one of the things we would ask today is if you have an operator in your community, and this is a worldwide program, but in our first year it was the US, Canada, and England where we had participation. We would encourage you to support the local operator, obviously, and let them participate in the program, and then at the end of the 30 days they put the vehicle back to the original condition. So it's a temporary exception should you have rules against having a pink taxi, for example. One thing we learned from American Cancer Society, and then I'm going to turn it over here, is we raised $118,000 in our first year, and that's not a lot of money to the American Cancer Society. But what they came back to us when they said, let's do this again, they said the visibility they obtained was much higher than much higher profile programs. I mean, when you paint a taxi pink, the local media picks up on it, and they got a lot of press, and they liked that. And they said, we're doing two things here. Yes, we need to raise money to fund the research to defeat this disease, but we also need awareness, and we got a lot of awareness out of your program. So even though it was modest in monetary terms, they thought it was very, very significant in awareness terms, which is what encouraged us to do it again, quite frankly, and what encouraged them to create the text-to-give number and add it to the website, et cetera. So we're excited about this program. It's a way for the industry to give back to the community and get some good press at the same time. So it's a win-win, and we'd ask you to support the program. Now we're going to move on to the Transportation on Patrol, which is a rebirth of an old program, but we're rebranding it and renewing it. And our president, Robert McBride, who really took this program by the horns and said we're going to do it, and really has pushed it through the system. It took us 2 years to implement Pink Ride. It's taken us about 6 months to get Transportation on Patrol on board, because when you have an enthusiastic president who has charisma and who says you're going to do it, you do it. And he's very excited about the program, and the early programs have had great press and great benefit to the community. So, Robert, could you talk to them about that?
Thank you very much, Al. I'd like, if I may, since I have the mic, I'd like to recognize some officers from the TLPA board that are here. We have International Vice President Jim Bell from right here in Toronto. We have Blair Davies from Australia, Vice President. We have Bill Rouse from LA, Bill, Vice President of the US. And am I missing anybody else from the board that might be here? We do have many members that are here, and we have many associate members that are displaying here and supporting your organization. And on that note, I'd like to just say that I'm very excited about the relationship that has developed. I've had the time to get to know Matt Dowse, speaking in Australia this year, as well as Rome, and spending some quality time with him. And I really look forward. Communication, as we all know, is the key to success. And I think if we work together, we'll work to better everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. So I'm delighted to be here, and thank you for the time to speak. As Al mentioned, we have this program that I think is just an absolute joy for me. It clearly shows that our drivers service the community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they have an opportunity to give back to people like yourselves and the people that they service on a day-to-day basis. And I'd like to go to a video. I will tell you that this comes to you and to people that get involved. We have over 20 police agencies now since January 1st in the U.S. participating in this program with us. Again, it's a set of extra eyes and ears in the community. And I have a video that I'd like to show you to sort of get the sense of how important this program is. And then I'll make some more comments as it relates to the program.
The cab driver, being hailed a hero for helping police catch the suspects in a deadly hit and run, says he disagrees with the term hero. The man who didn't want his last name used gave police a crucial tip in the January 22nd crash leading to the death of 21-year-old Jose Medina. Fox 31's Dave Young sat down one-on-one with the man to talk about that night.
Jose Medina's tearful family members give Max, the cab driver, grateful hugs.
I'd like to have Max come up.
With his own family looking on, Max had just been honored by the Denver Police Department as a hero and what they call a poster child for great witnesses. But Max told us he was only doing what anyone should have done.
And I saw the accident when I decided to follow that guy because I thought, it could be someone, a member of my family, you know.
Max followed a driver who just killed the 21-year-old Medina as he worked outside the Rockstar Lounge a week and a half ago.
I think everyone should be doing things like this, you know, when they saw something wrong, always notify.
While following the suspect for blocks, Max confirmed the white truck was damaged on the front and side.
So I let him pull. When the lights became green, I let him pull ahead of me. I become behind, and then I wrote on my little note the license plate when I called the police.
That tip gave police crucial information they needed, leading them to 4 people, including the alleged driver, Nora Vera Nolasco. All are now facing felonies in the case after being here illegally. Max says he knows it won't bring Medina back to his family, but he's been grateful to meet them and share their grief.
Everybody has a hurt feeling, and it is no word, you know, but I know I feel happy inside to be able to help.
Dave Young, Fox 31 News.
Max had recently taken a Denver police course called Taxis on Patrol. It gives drivers tips on what to do in situations like this. And besides the Police Hero Commendation, Max was also awarded $1,000 from the Daniels Fund and given the Bill Daniels Neighborhood Hero Award.
Okay, so as you can see, the drivers, all the drivers that are involved in this program are very proud to provide assistance. In Denver, we have a self-supported program where we actually look at the incidents reported, pool them, and we have a group of drivers that decide which is the most outstanding incident during that quarter. The driver receives